following program makes use of copywritten material as part of a psychological examination of music. All music copyrights remain property of their respected creators.
Dude, I just got this wicked new haircut. How do I look, Nico?
It looks wicked awesome.
Check it out, bro. I got it at Generations Salon. Generations is Huntsville's premier salon, and they offer great haircuts, beautiful coloring, which they use Perla color from Italy for true tones and brilliant shine. They offer permanent waves, body waves, keratin treatments, 100% organic, styling, updos, and straightening. Lisa's been in the industry for over 20 years and 10 at JCPenney, and she has some of the most competitive pricing in Huntsville. Generation Salon has recently moved to 2804 Lake Road, Suite number 2, and with their fingers on the pulse of modern styling trends and a solid foundation and classics you love, their salon truly is the salon for all generations. Our show is also brought to you by
12th Street Bar. 12th Street Bar is the best place to go in Huntsville for a good drink and a good time. Go to 12th Street at 1024 12th Street. That sounds simple enough, right? If you want to experience the true nightlife of Huntsville, Texas, man, with all the ghouls and goblins and freaks and weirdos or whatever you want to call those guys, get yourself over to 12th Street Bar. You can get there from 4 to 2 a.m. on weekdays, 6 to 2 a.m. on Saturdays, 5 to 2 a.m. on Sundays. And on May 14th at 9 p.m., Hammer Party and the Wild Fits will be playing. I just listened to a little bit of Hammer Party, and I'll tell you what, they won't disappoint you, man. Get yourself over to 12th Street Bar now. All right, kids, welcome to the show. Today's episode, we got Louie Benavides. I've been waiting to get Louie on the show for a while, ever since he got back in town from going to Fullsail University, the mecca for all people interested in music production.
We've been wanting to go to
music
that for
engineering.
a while.
I got an offer to go there once. I think you got an offer to go there once.
Yeah.
But Louie went there, and we were so excited to get him on board and to talk to him about it. Not to mention the dude's been a phenomenal musician for so many damn years. It was great just to have his mind and pick at it for a while. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. Did you enjoy having him here?
Not really. No.
Yeah, dude, it stank.
The smell. Yeah, there was a smell.
Some stank. I don't know what it was.
Oh, God. No. He actually smelled like roses.
You heard it first. Anyways, Johnny, baby, take us there.
All right. Welcome to the Conversationalists.
This is like the nicest piece of equipment that we have.
And it's nice. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
The frequency response is pretty good.
I'd say this is probably, if not our most, I wouldn't say it's our most expensive piece of equipment. I'm sure that
the
interface,
audio interface.
I don't remember what it was. It has to be. Is this an Audix? What is this right here?
Audio Technica.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Have you had did you get the chance to mess around with different kinds of microphones when you were at a?
Oh, dude, yeah. Neumann U87, of course, a $3,000 microphone. That's the god of all microphones. Of course, the AKG C414s. You can, they have the adjustable polar patterns, and
it almost sounds like you're talking about a gun of some kind.
It's just very technical.
This is beyond my realm of understanding microphones.
And then you look into the polar patterns of each microphone. You got bidirectional and omnidirectional. And
right.
Cardioid, and then you got your frequency response because every microphone has its own EQ curve, if you say.
Right. That's what you see on the side of the box.
Kind of. It's hard to find sometimes to me. You have to really do some digging, frequency response, but definitely that's I use a lot of AKGs, Neumanns, of course the Shure 57s.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with those.
Oh yeah,
right.
Never go wrong with those.
Those aren't too expensive either, are they?
Well, they're like $100 each. Definitely $100.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No.
Well, no, for a mic that is definitely universal and you can throw that across the room. And
Right. Is that the is that a dynamic?
Yes, dynamic microphone. I'm guessing that's a cardioid for sure. This is dynamic. I don't know what that is. Is that a cardioid?
I just know it's a condenser.
Yeah, they are a condenser cardioid. Yeah, for sure.
I'm glad we're recording all of this. That way we know what all of this shit now. Yeah. I feel like we've just been like,
it just means that it needs extra power to turn on. And then, and they're brighter. They tend to be more brighter on the high end than the dynamics. And they reduce more noise floor.
Right.
Because you don't want to bring up the noise floor within the mix.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, after this lesson, I guess we can go ahead and we usually do a clinky during our show.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Thank you, man.
Mazel tov. Awesome. Thank you for being on our show today, Louie.
No problem, man. No problem. Thank you for having me. It's really nice.
Before we go into anything, I just want to go back because I was talking with my friend Gary. You know Gary.
Yeah.
I was talking with him. The oldest memory that I have of you, it was. No, it's not that bad. It's actually really flattering. It was at Lizards.
Okay.
We were on the second floor. I think we were playing pool. I don't think we played a show there, but I want to say I think you guys played a show back when you were in Knox Emery.
Before us?
No, I don't think it was. I don't think we were. I think we were just hanging out. But I think we went to check you guys out, and we were upstairs, and you guys came up. It was you and your bass player. I don't.
Alex.
Yeah.
Alex Pena.
Yeah.
I just saw him.
You guys came up to us. And you're like, hey, I'm a big fan of your guys' music. Like you guys are fucking awesome. We got to do a show together.
Yeah.
And did we ever do a show together?
We did not. I was actually talking to my family because I was explaining to them about you guys and how I went to school with you and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, didn't we ever? I thought like we opened for you guys one time, but see, you were with Lee. That's how I knew. That's how I kind of put us all together. But I don't think we ever did a show
Probably
together.
not. But anyways.
That whole period of time, me and him were in the same band. And we had Reed as our bass player, and then eventually Lee got in. See,
that was all kind of that time where everybody was just going. I don't remember how I met Lee, but I remember he played with you guys on that. It was maybe 2010 or 9.
Probably 2010, I want to say.
When he started playing with us, that's whenever he started. That's whenever he pretty much just got here, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was just talking about that memory of like how you came up to us and you were like praising us and like how much you really liked our music, and just made me think like you've always been like not just like a very positive dude, but like you're generally like a music lover. You know what I mean? Like towards like other bands and being supportive and like just like praising them, but like because you appreciate the music.
Well, it's when I appreciate the passion, and when you have a passion for something, I'll support it. And, you guys had stuff going on just like we did too.
Yeah, dude. Like it got
Goat Records.
It was a passion, man, and I saw it. That's why I enjoyed you guys, and I'm surprised we never played a show together.
That's very surprising. I think you guys were. At least as far as the Huntsville scene was going, you guys were starting to come up and do more shows, and then you did more shows out of town, I want to say, than we'd ever did.
Definitely Woodlands, and we did one in downtown Houston at Meridian, and then we did like 3 or 4 in College Station, of course, but mainly Woodlands, Texas.
Right. So if anything, man, I was always like looking up to you guys because like you guys are going for it. Like we were doing our thing and we were trying to build something. We were still trying to figure out like who we were and what it was we wanted, but you were just just went for it,
Man, we were doing the same thing. We didn't know what we were doing. We were doing this,
I think that's the only way you actually get anywhere is by just pushing,
just doing it, really. And that's what I'm pretty much focused on now is who cares, just do it. Do what you want to do to make you happy, make you smile.
If you don't just do it, you may never do it, and if you don't ever do it, you'll never get what you want.
And you'll never know.
Exactly.
You'll never know.
Yeah.
No, but when did this all start for you? Because as long as I've known you, you've always been a musician. I remember, before I ever met you, this is going way back in time.
Yeah,
but
high school.
But I remember it was on fucking like MySpace, right? hold on. I remember there being this like thing that you can go to, like you could see like people who go to school with you, and every new year you'd see like new faces, like people who were like freshmen that were going in. And I remember one year in particular, I see like a whole bunch of new faces and new kids.
There was a goth dude, wasn't there?
There was the goth dude, all black, long curly hair,
nail polish,
devil horns, and I was like, who the fuck is this dude? Because, to be honest with you, at the time, I'm not saying anything, but at the time, I was the long-haired Mexican, like, quote-unquote goth kid, and I saw you, and I was like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? Like,
you're making me cry with tears right now. That's funny.
Another satanic Hispanic.
Right.
Satanic Hispanic.
Yeah. But then,
say that again.
But whenever I was, like, looking around, and I saw, like, all the guitars and, like, the drum set and, like, just all music, like your whole page was just nothing but music. Like, you were music. I want to say that you probably were, if that was freshman year, 13, 14 years old. Did it start before then, or is that really when you began to?
It definitely started way before. That time, let's see, I moved to Madisonville when I was 14 years old. Mm-hmm. But it definitely started when I was 10. Like, my parents just said, hey, there's a Kiss is coming to town for a farewell tour. So they were playing at the Alamo Dome. I think it was like 99 or 2000. But I was like 9 or 10 at the time. And we went, and ever since then, I was like starstruck. I was like, oh man, I know in some way, form, shape, fashion, I will be a part of this industry. And whether I'm a musician, an artist, somewhat businessman, whatever, make sure I'm part of this passion, this business. And ever since then, it just grew and grew. My passion grew, and of course I started Metalhead.
Yeah.
Right.
It's my first bands were like, the heavy Slipknot with Iowa and Cradle of Filth. I can't remember like that era. Maybe like
Midian?
Maybe Midian or like Cruelty and the Beast.
And Midian was the best.
Oh, and Cruelty and the Beast. Those are my two favorite albums. And then like Thornography came out and all those, which are all right. They're pretty good, but that's when I started weaning off of different music.
Yeah.
But we can go death metal, black metal with Immortal and Bathory and Mayhem, and Death and all kinds of bands.
This is where I want to know real quick. Was there ever anything before that? Because that's all I've ever known you for. Like, was there a time where you listened to like Shania Twain on the radio or something like
I won't lie. One of my very, very first physical CDs that I ever held, I told my grandma I wanted the Slim Shit Eminem. It's the one with the red cover.
The Marshall.
Guess Who's Back?
Oh yeah.
It was around that time, 99 or 2000.
Eminem show?
Is it Eminem show?
Maybe, I don't know.
Or the Marshall Mathers EP or something?
No, Encore was the blue one after the. I think it's Eminem show.
Eminem show. That was a good one,
dude. I was like, Grandma, can you get me this? And that's the first CD I ever got. I was like 9 or 10 at the time. That's when it all kind of just started for me. And my parents got me a guitar. I saw Kiss and I was like, oh, can I get a guitar for my birthday? And I got a guitar.
Right.
I didn't really pick up till around 11 or 12. I tried, just playing, just jamming. I couldn't get into it. My parents tried to give me take me to lessons, but I couldn't do it. I just wanted to jam. Finally I met this a great friend of mine still, Ramiro Salas out of Laredo, Texas right now. Great musician. I met him in middle school at 7th grade, and he pretty much, me and him just meshed and taught each other how to play.
That's awesome.
I mean, and we just kind of like, oh, this is what you're doing. Oh, this is what I'm doing. Okay, so now I kind of, and I learned from him, and he learned from me, and we just, that's how we learned.
If there's anything that I've ever learned in playing music, is that trial and error is almost like the greatest lesson you could ever, like learning to fuck up, figure it out, and then go from there.
And patience is a virtue.
Patience, definitely. I think that's all you need whenever you're picking something up brand new, like whether it be an instrument or a hobby or you draw or something like that.
Well, a lot of people tell me I don't have patience, but
do you think
I beg to differ.
Do you think that you do? Or
I put up with a lot of stuff. What I'm saying? And I'm calm through it. But there's times when I'm just like,
Oh yeah, I think that's anybody could be like that. I mean, I know I've like if I was working on a song and you
want to kill that creativity. You want it to flow.
You want it to keep going, but there's part of you whenever it turns like, oh, I've been working on this song for 2 months now. Where's it going? You start to like question yourself, like, where am I going wrong? What can I do better? But I think as long as you don't like just beat yourself. I mean, you could beat yourself up, but as long as it's progressive, it's positive, something like that.
It just depends how you write. What's your method of writing, and if you just you play and write, or you write off based of how you feel,
right?
And you're waiting to feel something in order to get that riff, or something. I mean, I've had songs that I've kept since I was 14 that I still add on to, and I call them my hit songs. I don't show nobody these songs. They're like there's like 3 or 4 of them that I have from my little Line 6 Jamman looper.
Right.
You know, and that's how I recorded it. I looped everything, and I have these songs that I want to build upon and work, but I just need the right musicians, the right people to do it to get it, you know, off its feet.
Right.
Do you think that I'm sorry to interrupt you so much, but do you think like whenever you go like kind of more emotion heavy, do you feel like you're setting yourself up? Because like every show that we did, like it was like pure emotion, and I put everything into it, and it was maybe not have been like the most technical or greatest thing in the world, but to me it would feel like the most realist, you know. So like I felt satisfied with it, but it maybe wasn't so great with anybody else, you know. But whenever you put your time and you put your effort and put more focus on the overall production of a song, and you have that as, you know, you let people listen to it and you get the positive feedback, oh, that sounds great, but you think about it as like I just sort of put that together, you know, that didn't really come from anywhere, you know what I'm saying?
The sonic characteristic of a song will always be what drives a real song, or, you know, a good song. Right. The sonic characteristic, it's the sound, but it's the emotion that song sends out through the speakers, it bouncing off the walls into your ears. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's that over the sound, but what you're saying is simplicity. Sometimes you
I think it's more. I think what I'm getting at is it's more satisfying to me if like I'm just banging on the drums like real hard and heavy. It may not be
feeling it.
Yeah, it may not be the most put together. It might seem kind of weird and crazy at the moment, but I'm just like in the moment. I'm feeling it, and someone might listen to it and it's like, Jesus, what the fuck are you doing there? Versus like you putting time and effort into something and like you sort of nitpicking every little detail into it and creating it, but it just sort of it almost being like. Like, you know, like those pictures wherever it's like dot to dot and you like draw a line.
Yeah.
Like there's no real creativity to it, but you create a picture out of it and you look at it, it's like, oh, there's something. You know what I'm saying?
Well, everything can always be progressed on or built upon. You know, and like a song can never really be finished. But there is a point where you can add so much to where there's just too much going on that it kills the vibe.
Yeah.
Simplicity is always going to be the best way to get your music connect with everybody, because people can easily connect to it and listen to it. But at the same time, that's all on your personal preference and moral on writing music, you know.
I feel that. Yeah.
But like I said, anything can always be built upon.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's nice to start with like a simple skeleton and then from there start drawing the flesh
and seeing how or carving it. Carving it out.
There's always been this great quote that I heard. It was true art isn't finished, it's just abandoned.
I think I've seen that too. I believe in that. Yeah, like you just leave it alone, it's done, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anything ever is truly finished, you know. Like I know I could listen to songs that maybe we did back in 2008 or 9 and think like even though at the time we thought, man, those were hits, you know. But then there's like, I should do this instead, you know. Like
well, we always progress as musicians, you know. We always we really don't go back. We always just keep going forward, and as long as we just keep doing our thing and listening to new material, we'll always be progressing.
Right.
No matter what, and just keep your ears open. Really,
I guess if you're looking back at the music and seeing all the flaws, it's ultimately something you can show yourself and be like, well, you know, at least
you're
I've
proud
moved.
of it too.
At least I've moved from there.
Yeah,
you know, at least I know what I would do in that situation.
And because I did those things, now I know this, or now I can do this. You know, it's
right. But I mean, of course, if you never did it at all, there wouldn't be anything. You wouldn't be anywhere.
Exactly. You know? Of course. Yeah.
But going to like some of the early stuff that you were doing, like I mentioned it before, but like Noximri, was that like one of your first bands that you did?
Actually, that was my very first serious band I did put together. It was me and Aaron together in high school. I met him before high school at like a Hastings or something.
Right.
And I was just like, I think he was wearing a Dimmu Borgir shirt, and I was like, dude, awesome shirt. And that's how I met him. And then I saw him at Ozfest that summer before school, and then I saw him at school, and I'm like, okay, so we're friends. He ended up being a drummer. I ended up being a guitarist. We jammed.
He had a nice set too, man.
Yeah, his dad's set. I think it's a Ludwig or something. It's something. It's good, or it's great. It's still here in Huntsville. But yeah, I just started jamming with him, and me and him just meshed. You know, I wrote the guitar, he wrote the drums, and that's how it started.
That's beautiful.
And
I remember the guitar you had back then.
Which one? The PRS.
The purple one was
it?
Yeah,
it was purple. Yeah.
It was a Paul Allender PRS SE series. It was Paul Allender from Cradle of Filth, his signature.
Oh wow!
It was an amazing sounding guitar.
How many strings?
6. It was and I love that guitar, flawless. I still jam on it every day. But.
That was a guitar that I remember Gary like seeing, like, because he wants a PRS like really bad.
PRS is
and I remember at the time, I don't know what he was working with. I want to say maybe he had either a Schecter or a
nice.
or I think for a while he was rocking a BC Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
I got a BC Rich.
Yeah, he saw that guitar and was like, "Fuck, I want that fucking guitar."
Dude,
so
it's just
bad.
so meaty and crunchy. I love BC Riches.
I remember seeing you guys, and the bass player at the time at one point set the bass like it was one song. You guys were playing.
He's gonna laugh about this.
He set the guitar down and just kind of sat on the stage for a whole song.
He's gonna laugh about this, Alex. Yeah, it's true. I mean, me and him have a past too. Before Nox Simmering,
Right.
Me and him, you know, did I called it Wraiths of Abomination.
Right.
That was like my little band that I tried.
Right.
And we did a talent show, and his bass messed up on stage at school, and he just smashed it and threw it there and walked off stage. And I got so pissed looking at him, like.
Yeah, I can
but
imagine.
that is funny because I do remember at Lizards.
You remember that? Yeah.
That is funny. Yeah, that's Alex.
I had the Nox Simmering shirt, man.
Oh, originals.
Definitely. The originals with the upside down cross on the back. Like I thought it was awesome. I was like, I've got to get a shirt.
It was hardcore. It's brutal. Like, who does that really at Huntsville?
Right. So like you said, like you guys just jammed out together. Was there like there was never a singer for your band? It was just always music, right? Or didn't you do some vocals?
Until Frank, exactly. Right. And that's until I started. Well, yeah, for the first. Okay, so for the first, year of the Nox Simmering, we had no vocalists. We had a whole band, but we had a good instrumentals, but no vocalist at the time. We broke up for a little bit, and we got back together and said we wanted to do this right this time. At the time, I was working at Hot Topic, and that's where I was meeting all these people. And that's where I met Frank Blades. And, I saw one of his videos where he was doing vocal lessons, and I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. I'm like, let's bring him in. And we brought him in, and he did great. I mean, I loved his vocals. He's a hardcore dude. He's a great musician, period, in my eyes. But excuse me, yeah. And that's how I met Frank Blades. It was, I can't remember the date. Maybe like 2012, about, or maybe even earlier, 11. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think I saw you guys play at Lizards.
No, 2010. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was around that time. And I remember thinking whenever I first heard him singing or screaming to your music, I just remember thinking, like, that kind of fits. Like, it fits the overall tone
it meshed.
Of what it was you were trying to do. Now, I'm far disconnected from that style of music. I mean, you guys are talking on Cradle of Filth. I'm far away from understanding that music at all. But whenever I heard him scream to your stuff and like this, like the character of his voice with the music, I thought this works for what they're doing, So I think he was a great addition to what you guys were doing.
It was definitely a step up. I mean, it's hard to find anybody that's really a metalhead like us here in this town, you know. Let alone find good musicians that'll stick with you. You know what I'm saying? And he was definitely a good piece to add on to the band. We actually had a reunion in this past New Year. We all got together. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shit nasty. So. It was Aaron, Dizzy, Frank.
You know what? I knew about that.
Yeah, dude, we were there. You knew about it.
I knew about it. I totally knew about like the old gang getting together again.
Yeah. And Nate was there wearing our old shirt, the red one with the priest with the goat head.
Oh yeah.
Dude, classic times.
Who designed those shirts?
I can't remember. I can't, and I looked it up. Maybe it's like Consume the Flesh, or no, maybe that's a band. I have it somewhere. I'm not sure, but somebody that I think it may be McBride. I'm not sure who did it, but I have to look into that. Okay. Aaron, back in the day, used to do really all the business calls and stuff.
Okay.
I was just being that guitarist dude.
Hey, I'm me and Gary are the same. Gary handles the business. I'm in the back, just 1, 2, 3, 4, then rock out for a little bit.
I remember. I think I actually got on stage for you guys once, and I did.
Didn't we do a cover?
Yeah, it was him. It was not originally him. It was Isaac.
Wicked Game?
Yeah, Wicked Game.
You
Chris
did.
Isaac.
That was our first show.
That was y'all's first show.
That's the one that you said you were upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dude, all this is coming back. It's been a while.
Yeah, no,
It's
like,
been-
you guys played it, but I don't know who was singing. Maybe it was you singing. Maybe it was somebody else singing.
We didn't have a vocalist at that time,
Right.
but
So
I
was
knew
like,
it. So
you
I
guys
was,
got off. Y'all were done with y'all set, and I just kind of sent in the request. Hey,
yeah, let's jam.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. It worked very
it was
well.
Great, yeah. It was definitely obviously the him version.
Yeah.
I remember, at least whenever I was looking at, like the music influence that you had, it was always like Cradle and like him and
metal.
like very much metal.
And
Is there something about like that style, or at least what you listen whenever you listen to that kind of music, that it does something like does it do something for you like mentally or spiritually, or is it just the technicality that you're listening to that gets you off, or is it just like the...
It's, of course, like I say, it's a sonic quality of it. It's the individuality of metal, really, of what... It's hard to explain. Like, I'm a huge Meshuggah fan. Like, I just read that they're coming out with a new album, and I'm like, I can sleep at night because they exist, you know what I'm saying? But
right.
It's just, I mean, it's energy.
Yeah.
No, I heard that they were like the beginning.
They've been around for like 25 years.
Right, but I hear they're what really started Gent.
That's a fact.
That's true? Okay.
I have an instructor. I'm not sure. He's an older fella, of course. He's older, and he's like, man, I've been a fan of Meshuggah for 21 years, and I'm like, wow, they've been around before,
I haven't even really heard Meshuggah.
Dude, they are crazy. They're just droning and chaos and chaotic and just.
Is it like the Dream Theater feel?
No.
Or no, is it just a different world?
Like just chaos and
Okay.
8-string, like just.
All right, that's nice.
Their new album, their latest album, Kolios or something like that. My favorite song off there is the Demon is Surveillance and Don't Look Down. If you guys have a chance, look those up. But just chaos, and I can sleep at night because that band exists. And and it's funny when you listen to it because you're like, what is he talking? What is he doing? Like, it's funny.
It always makes me, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but it always makes me laugh whenever like I hang out with like a true metalhead and like I listen to their music and it's like, yeah. I remember I was listening to was that band Oceano?
Dude,
or something like that.
Depths was like that was the album.
Yeah,
the first album.
I was
Depths.
listening to that with someone, and they were like real passionate about it. I was like, dude, you gotta check out this band. You're gonna love them.
It was a
and
new
then I hear
sound.
it's like, you're like all this
super
stuff.
slow.
Like, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I remember at one point I start laughing, and I'm like, this is like crazy to me. Like, and not the music, but it's just like people who like react to certain kinds of music, like because like you see bands or you listen to music, and sometimes when you listen to them, if you see them at a live show, you see people around with their eyes closed and their hands in the air, almost like it's a spiritual experience, But then,
well, us metalheads are way different than that.
yeah, you guys.
It is a spiritual experience.
It is a spiritual experience, but we like to punch people and run around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of instead of the eyes closed, hands in the air, you got your walls of death and circle pits or whatever that shit is that you guys do.
This isn't Christian rock.
No, it's not.
But Oceano is definitely the very that was just a new sound for the 2007, 2008 time, probably
Right.
2009. I'm not sure when that was, but very fast paced. And then they would do the rhythm breakdowns. They break down and start rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
It was a new sound evolving, and I really love them, of course. But when we go to Meshuggah, that was not. They do fast, but it's more of the progressive, genty, you know what I'm saying, type. But man, Meshuggah. And Oceano, yeah. I met Adam one time, the vocalist, big black dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ridiculous.
Do you are you the kind of person that like you listen to like that style of music nowadays and compare it to like the olden times, and you're like, man, it was way better back in the day. Now it's just shit. Like, as far as like your death metal music.
Music,
No.
especially in the whole metal field, like things are really like picking up in some certain ways.
It's
and
getting more
it is
commercial.
Right,
Yeah.
People
right.
are liking,
Yeah,
it's-
absolutely.
It's mainly the experience live too that people like to go see. It's like they're getting hit with all this energy.
Right, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of bands that are coming out now, especially in the whole, and I can't really put in a category what Gent is exactly.
Yeah, it's just
because there's a lot of other bands that sound like that, but probably wouldn't be considered.
I call it progressive. It's just
Progressive,
it's
yeah.
progressive.
There's a lot of music coming out, that's like that. It's
Most recently, there's a song by Seven Dust. I can't remember what it's called, but it's off their new album, Kill the Flaw. And like most of their songs, do you listen to Seven Dust?
I know who they are. No, I don't though.
Okay.
No.
Well, like they have very like big epic sounding songs, very very driven.
Epic.
Epic is the word for it. And off this new album, you got your songs on there. They're really epic. It's very rhythmic. Like their drummer Morgan Rose, very rhythmic.
I'm sure I've definitely heard songs. I don't know them by name, of course.
But one of their songs off the new album, it kind of goes into this break where it's about to lead to a solo, and it does the solo, and it's very like their style. But the rhythm aspect of it, it sounds like Gent music, like the open notes, like the low tunings, the bow bow bow.
Maybe the metering of the song too is kind
Yeah.
of weird.
Yeah. So even bands that I don't think normally do that style, like they're kind of bringing it in as far as the rhythm aspect of what it can do to your song.
It's getting catchy.
It's hot.
It's hot. It's hot nowadays.
Right.
2016 times. Man, I don't know what to say. It's just, I mean, that it's
I started on the whole Periphery kick. Whenever Periphery
is that
came
what
out,
kind of molded you into that?
That's whenever I
Periphery
first
1, right?
I don't know.
Oh, the
It was-
first album,
It was the one with Race Car.
dude. The first album, Periphery 1. That's my favorite album.
Is that what?
It was
Is that it?
It was the craziest, heaviest album in my opinion.
And then I started listening to like Tesseract.
I love Tesseract.
And
yes.
Tesseract's like not screaming on the albums
No,
that I'm
but
digging.
they're what I call a beautiful heavy.
Oh my god! And it's-
Beautifully heavy.
Yeah,
like,
that's what my girlfriend's been jamming. She's not really into metal. And that's
Polaris or like the old stuff.
like Altered State.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's a great.
That's the
album.
one I love.
That was with the old vocalist. I can't remember
Oh,
his
was it?
name, but
I see every time I hear it, I hear a female singing.
Yeah.
It's like I doesn't matter how many videos I watch. Since I listened to it first for a long time without looking into it, I fucking literally, legitimately thought it was a chick singing. So now, no matter what information my brain receives,
he thinks it's a female.
it's always a female singing.
Well, and have you heard the new album though, Polaris?
I've heard part of it, but I haven't.
If you can listen to it all the way through, amazing album.
Okay, I think I'll do
They got
that.
their old vocalist Daniel Tompkins, and it's back and it's amazing. A great album. That's like my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, all right. I dig it though, and I like where a lot of that music's going. And as far as like technical, I'm hearing like Angel Vivaldi.
What?
Angel Vivaldi. I think that's what it's called. It's another band. It's just straight technical, like Plini or
I know Pellini, of course.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
Angel of All. I have to look that up.
It's really good. Angel Vivaldi, like all their songs are like in fucking Morse code. Like it's like the song that I like is like dash 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 dot. I'm not fucking kidding.
You mean the name of it?
The name of the songs, yeah, the name of the song is like dash dash. No, I don't think there's any vocals.
They're instrumental.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then there's like Silosis. Have you heard of them?
Silos? Nah.
Yeah, it's
No.
that same kind of field of music.
Time to pull out my iPod.
I don't know if it is gent or not, but like I just feel that technical. I guess what you'd say progressive.
I say and what I mean by progressive is always changing.
It is all of this, yeah.
It's always
but fucking beautiful, almost all of it.
Yeah, exactly. The Tesseract, of course. I need to check out that band you're talking about, but my iPod won't turn on.
Another time would be good. I'll
Yeah.
definitely write it down for you. But
Do you
Can I pick up one of those?
sure, you can have one of my beers.
Oh, these years.
No, I'm kidding. No, that's why I brought more out.
Thank you.
Do you like just instrumental music, or do you?
I do. It started with, I guess Animals as Leaders is like the first.
Great
instrumental.
fucking
yeah,
band.
yeah.
Oh my
That's
god.
of course self-titled, but other than them, like that I think of, I don't really listen to much instrumental unless it's like compositions, like from movie compositions or something like that.
I've always found that like there's two bands that in particular that I really like. One of them, you probably Explosions in the Sky. Have you ever heard of them?
I've heard of them.
I think they're good. There's this other band, I believe they're from Austin, and they're called This Will Destroy You.
Never heard of them.
Same style. It's very like delayed guitars and like sort of like marching kind of drums or whatever. But I feel like whenever I listen to music like that, it's really like painting a picture in my head to where it can be anything that I want it to be. You know, there's been so many times where I listen to a song and they had lyrics that I just could not connect with whatsoever. And then there's songs with lyrics like, that's my fucking life.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. That's like a moment in time in the life of Nico Kanzu. But whenever I listen to a song that's just pure instrumental, and like maybe if I look at certain images,
you're placing what they're doing, in my opinion, is they're giving you the baseline to paint what you see from them on top of it. Of course, is what exactly you were talking about. As far as like you're saying that some lyrics you relate to and some don't, in my opinion, a good song can relate to anybody no matter who you are, and it's just the way it's written. It's written according to, no matter how you interpret it, it'll relate to somebody, kind of like a fortune cookie.
Or the same thing, the Bible.
The Bible.
Right?
Well,
I'm just kidding. Okay,
I was about to be like,
we don't need to turn it into that talk because I knew you'd react like that. But
yeah, I was like, all right.
But yeah, you're right. Like it allows you to turn it in whatever it is that you want it to be. And for certain people,
vague.
Yeah,
would you call it vague? I'd say vague. Like just kind of like give it not enough information.
Yeah, to make you fill in
okay, I can see that. I can see that.
And that's how sound works too. Your brain will fill in the spots.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it wants a complete picture. It wants it. You know, that's like you hear some of the songs with like
it needs to feel complete.
Dun, 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 and you can kind of like hear a rhythm even though it's not.
Well, we are rhythmically inclined people. How do you say it?
We have to have something to draw the lines. And that's why some music's really cool if it fucking destroys your rhythmic, like if it just... your interpretation, and it just kind of tricks you. Like your brain's like expecting something and then like something else jumps out and,
and
it's
like,
it doesn't
feel right.
Yeah.
But that's sometimes fun to listen to.
That's very true. And I learned that in a lot of music theory, classes. I learned that in a lot of music theory classes at school. Our brain wants to complete that cycle, like even with like scales or chords, like dun dun dun. Like I mean, there's just different things, and if you don't hear that last note, your brain goes crazy because you want it to. Yeah. We call it going back home with music.
Right. Okay.
This kind of leads me
to away, and then you bring it back home, and you get closure.
Yeah. This kind of leads me to ask the question and get your opinion on it at least. Yeah. Do you think that sort of means or makes it to be that music is just turned predictable? Like you're saying, like you listen to music and you kind of already get a feel for what it's supposed to be, or like you hear something, like your brain kind of like fills in that blank. But whenever you hear something different, it throws you off. You're already expecting to sort of like, I know there's been so many songs where I could totally predict, okay, this is the verse. Okay, you're gonna go into chorus. It's gonna drop off. Then it's gonna build back up. Then it's gonna go into like a half chorus. Then do something else. Like
in that case, it's it's whatever sells. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In most cases of this industry right now. But that's why I listen to Meshuggah. You know what I'm saying? Because I enjoy the crazy, weird.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
It fills a hole in my heart. You know what I'm saying? I can sleep.
Right. That's kind of what I've been picking up with the new Deftones album. Have you heard the new album?
What was it? Gore?
Yeah.
Was that the video with the flamingos?
Yeah. Flamingos, yeah.
That was a great song. It was very different, and I read those interviews with their guitarist. You know, but I enjoyed it. It's very different. Of course, I've only heard it twice or 3 times. I haven't bought the album yet, which is I think it's already out. Right?
Yeah, it's out. It came out on the 8th, I want to say.
And I got to purchase that. I haven't heard it yet.
Me too. But I listened to it one time, and I really enjoyed it. And then it
gave you an awkward feeling.
It reminded me kind of like almost like a scary movie in a way. Like if you listen to it, like like this is like the moment of like terror and like sort of like suspense, and then like this is like the something. Then they have some songs that just sort of threw it off, but like I kind of had like a scary movie kind of vibe
creepy vibe.
Yeah. But like I listened to one of their songs on YouTube, and I was just scrolling down the comments. Just I don't care what people say, but I was just curious what people were like, the feedback that I was getting, and a lot of it was like, oh, this is great, oh, it's fucking amazing, and then I heard a lot of, it's okay, but it's nothing compared to Diamond Eyes, or it's okay, but Koi no Yoken was a lot better. You know, like comparing it to something else.
It's funny because those two suck.
People will.
No, I'm just kidding.
Fuck you.
I love Diamond Eyes.
Diamond Eyes was so fucking
and
good.
Shut Up and Drive, man.
Oh man.
the back in the day times, you know.
The song Around the Fur was the song that I learned how to play whenever I was trying out. I guess technically trying out for whenever me and Gary got together. Like I played that song, and I guess I played it well enough that he was like, "You want to be in a band?" But
that's
yeah,
how
like,
it kind of starts. You show up and you never leave.
Yeah, pretty much for 10 years. But yeah, like a lot of people were comparing it to like their old, like the previous stuff, and like they were kind of bashing on it in a way, and.
Well, they did leave such a heavy mark with a lot of their early.
They did,
stuff,
but there's part of me that like I understand that, but there's another part of me that's like I hate whenever people just can't appreciate like because Deftones have been around for like almost 20 years, probably over 20 years now. But they're still relevant and they're coming up with new music, but people are still gonna be like,
you know, they've been around to where they've. Excuse me, sorry, we can just cut that out. They've been around to where, you know, they've started out with their demographic before and what they have now. You know, they've worked so much. It's just, excuse me. Sorry, everybody.
Do you want me to pat you on the back?
Oh, that'll be all right. All right. You know, their demographic from what they had before into what they have now. I feel like people just need to be a little more open-minded and with music. It's evolving. Right now we're in this... Even with the industry, you know, recording industry and all that, mixed industry, not even talking about bands and music, even them, we're going into this transitional period. You know, even though it seems like, you know, technology's been around forever, it hasn't. We're still adapting to, you know, 80s and 1991 when you know the tools came out and when all this technology was, we're still adapting to it. So we still don't even know, you know, what it's going to be like.
It's been crazy how progressive, like, technology has been here lately. Like, even more stuff are coming out.
We still haven't, you know, adapted to it yet. We haven't gotten comfortable with it. So we're, at our age, we're going to see, you know, the new way of distributing music. We're going to live for that. You know, that's
I kind of feel like we're already in the midst of it because...
It's a transitional period, you know.
I remember... I was listening to this track. I want to say it's probably like 2009 or 10, and it was very industrial, very 9 Inch Nail-ish with, you know, that industrial kind of sound. And the guy that I was listening to it with, he was like, "Yeah, he did this all on his cell phone," and like, you know, it was just like
you could,
it's just like there's crazy ways of making music and releasing music, and it's crazy how
you could if you know how to do it right. You could, and it's very possible.
Speaking of doing it right and or learning to do it right, you went to Fullsail.
Oh yeah, yes I did. Just graduated last month.
In was it Winter Park?
Winter Park, Florida. Yes I did.
And man, tell us about that experience, man. Because I could tell you honestly, and around 2011, I was probably this close, and my two fingers are really close to listeners, but like this close to like actually going there. I just moved to Michigan, and I was like, okay, I'm not playing music anymore. I got the fever. I still want to do it. Is this still who I am? Can I still do it? And then the opportunity presented itself in front of me, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go for it. And I never fucking did, but you know, like that was like a serious option that I wanted to go with, just so I could feel like I was still relevant in music, but just because I love music so much, you know.
Well, with me, I'm not a school person. I left high school early. I still got my diploma online at a online college, but I'm not a school person, you know. And I wanted to be a part of this industry, and I needed something just to back me up. You know, you always need just a little piece of paper saying that, hey, this guy is certified and he knows how to do this. You know, and I didn't know so many people knew about Full Sail, and I heard of it because of Dizzy, actually, Thomas, and he said that he went for production online, and I looked it up, and you know, it looked like a good idea, but it was very spur of the moment for me. I was like, you know, hey, I want to go to school. I want to do it now, you know, and I was going through relationship problems and stuff before that, and I just got home for a little bit, and I just wanted to get my passion, you know, do what I wanted to do. It was a great experience. I mean, I learned so much, not just for sound and music, but electricity, you know, electronics, business, you know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
Even a little bit of coding and implementing the sound, programming the sounds to react with a game or something, you know. So not just sound I learned a lot of, you know, networking skills, how to talk to people, how to make friends, you know what I'm saying? And it's a great school. It's everything right there at your fingertips. It's digital to art and design, film students, web design, mobile app design, recording arts, music production. It's everything right there at your fingertips. So when you need some, oh, I know this guy over there, and I know this guy over here, and oh, we can just put together a big group and make this big project happen.
Right.
They're very oriented like that. You know, networking is a major thing that they stress at school. But it was a great experience. I got to be hands-on with millions of dollars worth of equipment. I'm not shitting you. And, you know, I got to work on a nice SSL Neve or an SSL Duality, and I got to work on a Neve. I'm not sure what it's called, but a Neve console, a very nice one. But yeah, it was very nice.
One of the things
very
that
fortunate to be going.
Whenever I was looking up, those ones. Whenever I was looking up the courses, I wanted to go for music production as well. And you went for audio engineering.
Recording arts,
okay.
Audio engineering, yes.
I wanted to go for music production, and I saw like all the courses that like you have to do for that degree or whatever. And like you were saying before, like, you know, you got some electricity, you got some
POE.
theory, you got a little bit of everything just so you have the full understanding of it.
Spectrum.
Yeah, and I thought, like, at the time I thought I had sort of an idea what all entails with music production.
Too.
What was like your first day whenever you show up and you see the class and like you see all the stuff that you're gonna be working with? Like, was there a part were you excited, or were you just like?
I was very serious. I was very straightforward, and I didn't BS around.
Right.
And I'm being honest. I had a purpose and a reason why I'm doing this, and I went and did it, and I got out. Yes, I made a lot of friends and met people, you know, and probably be lifetime friends, you know. But I saw the equipment. The equipment didn't, you know, impress me. I'm not there for the equipment. I'm there to better myself as an engineer. The equipment is a plus, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
To go touch this $1 million console and push this fader up and down, you know what I'm saying? Or patch this signal to the LA2A compressor or something, you know, that was the plus, you know. Even the instructors getting to just hear what they have to say, like just to hear them talk, it's because they've been there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it was a plus. But
real people know what they're doing.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. But and that's what they did. They taught me. They moved me from down here to up here, you know, from a boy to a man in technical audio standards, to be honest. I mean, I like I said, I thought I knew what I was talking about, but then but of course I changed from the artist musician to the technical engineer guy.
Yeah.
So I mean, of course I have a little more all around knowledge of that.
Now I heard something that sort of blew me away, and I don't know if you could elaborate more on it. But someone told me that you told them that nobody plays any real instruments there.
Well, you know, they do. It's hard to find. Like what I meant by that is you go and there's all these kids coming right out of high school, 18, 19 years old.
Right.
Oh, I'm going to make some beats. I'm going to be making beats. And it's like, you know, they don't have a clue, because I've been working, I've been a musician since I was, 12, 13, playing my ass off, you know, and here you're pushing these buttons and you're calling yourself a producer. That's not true. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, there's people like that. But there is a lot of people that play actual instruments. But it's very hard to find people to connect with like that, because, everybody's trying to do their own thing. And in my degree program, we're audio engineers. We're not musicians. We're not artists. We're not going to be composing music with the music production course. You know what I'm saying? So most of them were all just sound people, not even musicians.
Right.
So, and yes, they could plug in, beats and stuff, or, compose music through Logic or whatever. But I was just more of a purist, I'm that analog. I like, playing it and then meshing as the people. And that's where you get that sonic sound, that feeling from, meshing with other people.
Did you learn anything about like analog recording? Or was it all just...
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay. Everything was analog. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it comes straight from a mic wall mount or a mic panel, analog cord all the way to a preamp. It was all analog. We did get to mess with the tapes.
That's what I'm asking, really. Yeah.
Oh, yes. We did get to mess with tapes. We got to multi-track onto their 24-track.
Oh, that's cool.
That was just for a class. We didn't use it for our final project.
Well, the tapes themselves are pretty expensive, so it's not
like
something
$150-$200 for a 2-inch tape.
Right, exactly.
Real. Yeah, and
I hear that they come out with like a better sound in the sense of like the way that they clip.
It's saturation. We call it warmth, or the saturation that
absolutely.
The tape gives. It's the magnetic tape that it gives. With digital, you can't do that. It's ones and zeros. Digital sound is very edgy sounding. It's hard to explain. There's no harmonics into it. Is what it really is, because we can only hear from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. You know what I'm saying? We can only have this little spectrum. So, in order to add that warmth and that saturation that we love so much, it's adding harmonic content and overtones into that frequency spectrum of your song or your sound, and you get that with analog gear, with tube analog gear, like the Manley Massive Passive or the GML parametric EQ. There's different, different sound. It's a different sound. Yeah,
right.
I can go crazy with that.
Do you does it excite you to know that like more bands are like starting to go this way with going like with tape? Because like I remember when I first heard like just out of nowhere, like whenever Foo Fighters, like they did an album and they did it solely off of.
I'm pretty sure they're still doing it. It's still around, of course it is, but it's changing. It's evolving. Not everybody's using it. It's expensive. It's a little inconvenient.
I'm sure that there's also a lot of cross work too.
Well, it's a lot of time, and time is money in this industry.
Well, yeah.
And it's just, you can achieve the same goals with digital. You just got to process it differently and manage it differently than we used to. Well, than they used to. I never used to. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking like them. But yeah, I mean, like I said, all this information I got from my instructors, the way they, talk about it.
Right. I don't know. I don't think I obviously I've with the limited resources that I have, everything for me has always been digital, and I feel like it's convenient and like it helps you just get something down or whatever. But part of me would truly, I think, enjoy the process of recording on like tape or whatever, just for the pure reason of it's like genuine, like everything that you do
is genuine.
Yeah. I mean,
you're actually taking acoustic energy, transforming it into electric energy, and putting it into magnetic tape.
Drawing it.
Yes, drawing it, exactly, and shaping it. It's true, but I mean, like they said at school, there's two sides to the story, of course.
Yeah.
And yes, tape is still around, but digital and the tools have made it just so convenient and easy.
Oh, man.
And you can achieve the same goals, like I said. You just have to route it differently and process it differently.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, there's part, like, I'm excited to ever get the opportunity to ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
Only because, like, sometimes whenever we record, obviously me and my band, we do everything through GarageBand. We start off with an idea.
Which sounded good. I was like, damn.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I was.
But some of those stuff that you probably listen to, it probably started as one thing, and then it got spliced, and then shit got moved around, and like, and then it turned into something completely different than what it originally was. I guarantee you probably one or two of the songs that you listen to originally was something else, and then everything got sort of moved around to be turned into something different, which that's fine and all. I can't. Part of me.
I know where you're going.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want.
Let me see if I can answer this. It means more to you that you had somebody play it in full and right and correct and just get it right the first time in the performance. And I used to be very much like that. Mm-hmm. I used to be do it again. Oh, you got a 5-minute song? You messed up at 3.5 minutes? Start over from the beginning.
Right.
I used to be, but no, it can't. We can't do that.
No, I understand.
And from the technical side, which what I learned, it's money, it's time, it's fatigue. I mean, musicians get fatigued. Our ears get fatigued. Mm-hmm. As mixing or recording, it's just technology has helped. It's convenient. You don't have to actually cut this tape. And actually,
splice it, yeah.
tape the tape together. You know what I'm saying? You can just with a series of maybe let me see, like probably 3 clicks. In 3 clicks, I can do all that.
Yeah,
right.
You probably in 2. I'm just trying to think. Maybe a batch command. You can just do it in 1.
Right.
But I mean, it's just very convenient. You know. And I used to be very much like that, but now I can get so much more out of my artist. If I'm like, it's fine, we can just do it piece by piece, and we'll just fly these, or we can.
I like the whole go through the song together, and then one by one, hey, we got a problem. We'll see if we can do it up to here.
And it's too on the musicians in the band. If they, if they're more comfortable doing live, hey, all power to you, man. But I've learned if you capture the performance right the first time at the source, you don't need no EQ, you don't need no compression, you don't. I mean,
you need most of the time, just probably not as much.
if you're an Al Schmidt, all you need to do is turn up the faders and you're good.
Oh wow!
Just put them to unity and you're good. Al Schmidt's a purist. He's a producer engineer. He just uses microphones. That's how he uses EQ and compression.
Yeah,
I've heard of that.
Pull it back if you find the right spot.
Yeah, it's
on a speaker.
It's a microphone in theory. Yeah, mics in theory.
I think ultimately the best source would be just the best of everything.
Well, if you capture it at the source,
yeah.
And it's all physics and science, to be honest with you.
Right.
It's just knowing what this thing is, right here in front of me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What's it made out of? What are these transistors, and what does it add to the sound?
Right. Exactly. Where does the diaphragm need to be?
It's a lot.
Right.
A lot of little things.
Mm-hmm. You were speaking about was that name that you dropped? He was a producer or
Darren Schneider?
Yeah.
He was my advanced session recording.
Is there any particular other, like, outside of who taught you, like, producers that you looked up to or that you discovered while you were there that sort of inspired you, or other audio engineers?
Yes, Sylvia Massey, of course, is one of my all-time favorites. She did Tool and Johnny Cash and System of a Down.
Oh, nice.
All our favorite albums that we grew up to.
Uh-huh.
Right.
She recorded. She recorded Undertow from Tool.
That's a great one.
Dude, yes. And she is one of my inspirations, Sylvia Massey. There's many. There's Al Schmidt, and then there's I'm trying to remember who did Enema and from Tool and 10,000 Days. David something. I can't find my phone. That's my iPod. But
I always thought it was Onema.
It's Enema, like
Enema.
Enema. You know what Enema is? And it's where they clean your ass.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought it was enema.
Enema. It's an enema. Yeah. Enema. Yeah, enema.
And I'm pretty informative on enemas.
But the things you learn. I was surprised.
The more you know.
Yeah. What's his name? Rick Rubin.
Yeah, man, he's a good one. Definitely Slipknot.
Definitely one of my influences.
He did Jay-Z. He did a lot. Not even just our metal and rock.
He did Jay-Z. He did Johnny Cash. He did System of a Down. He did Metallica. Was it Death Magnetic? I want to say.
I'm not sure.
Did Red Hot Chili. He's done a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's so many things about him in particular that I really like. I mean, just for the fact that he's like this big old fuzzy bear Buddhist guy.
He's just a very, very humble dude.
Yeah.
Sounds like my kind of dude.
And all it is that he did it right. And he did it very right. And we actually watched a lot of documentaries on him at school.
That's cool. He started, was it Def Jam Records? Yeah, I want to say. He started, he was in college. He was in his dorm, and he was like coming up with like sounds and
That's
beats.
one of the documentaries. Yeah,
Yeah.
And he almost got kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love his work. I love like all the videos I've ever seen of like him in the studio with bands. Like his method is like the band is pretty much I think it goes out the two ways. Like he's not in the studio with them, and then like the band will do work, and then they'll email it to him, and then he'll email them back as like, try doing this, try doing that, try a little bit of this instead of giving suggestions.
That's a part of being a producer. Yeah.
And then the other one is he's there in the studio with you, but he's like laying down on this couch with his eyes closed, just sort of taking it all in. Like almost putting himself in like the listener's perspective. Like when you think about it, like
a consumer.
Yeah, like where are you usually when you really get into music? You know, you're laying down, you got your iPod on your belly, or you got your headphones in your ears, and just being taken away by the waves of music.
He has a very realistic and down to earth point of view on things.
Yeah,
you know.
I think you would really dig him, Johnny, if you ever checked him out.
You said big fuzzy Buddhist, right?
He has the big beard.
Yeah, like big old beard.
You sold me with that.
Yeah, and I lost all my hair. Remember I used to have
I remember you had some locks on you, man.
Dude, I lost my hair. Well, I had receding hair because of the dreads. You know,
That's right, you did dreads.
I had the dreads for like 4 or 5 years, and then I cut them off, grew my hair out more, and it just wouldn't do it, so I just...
Is that a side effect of dreads, receding hair?
Well, if you just don't take care of it, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Well, now I know not to get dreads.
Exactly. That's what I stress, unless you just do it very right, which I didn't.
Ain't nobody got no time for that.
Well, I mean, I have a friend who she has dreads. So
does she do anything else?
No, that's all she's ever done.
See, exactly. She barely got time for that.
And the money.
Right.
Shit.
I don't know. I don't think I'd ever. I think whenever I did a mohawk for my very last show. Like it was very punk rock. Like Lee literally just took like a buzz or whatever and just like no style to it whatsoever. Just very punk rockish. And at that, I was like, "Shit, I'm kind of pushing it with this thing, But
with this classy ass soul patch I got going on, I've kind of pushed the limit. My dad was like, well, it was graduation, and I was like, man, I'm gonna try to do something different. My dad's like, do this. I'm like, oh, a soul patch. I'm like, shit. So I did it, and I was like, it's all right. I'll just keep it and then shave it out before graduation. I ended up keeping that shit. So like, I don't know. The rocker soul patch.
Right. You gotta have something, right?
Yeah.
Like my buddy Alex said, if you can't have any hair, rock the soul patch and go bald. Yeah.
That's all I ever did.
Or a beard and bald.
I used to work at a factory in Michigan, and they were very much like, you can't have facial hair. You have to wear one of those stupid fishnet things.
I hate that.
So I was like, all right, I'll
fishnet. Hair.
I shaved everything off, but I kept. You know exactly what I was trying to say.
I know what you're saying.
I had to shave everything off, but I kept the soul patch. I was like, you're not going to take that away from me.
You can't
That's all I got.
That away from me. No, you can't take it.
Me crying in front of my supervisor. I have nothing else.
But this few pieces of hair.
Of my soul.
You can't take my soul.
Away from me. That's funny.
Yeah. Going back to your schooling,
yeah, man, yeah.
You had your finals pretty much is like you have to do like a big project, isn't that right?
Yes, yeah. So pretty much they just the first day they're like, okay, blah 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 blah, good luck, and then okay, and we've learned that's already pretty much the last 2 months of school, so we've learned everything we need to learn. Mm-hmm. So they set you free. You got to find your own band. Just find them. Or find your artist.
Hey, it's not that hard.
It's kind of hard.
Is it?
A little bit.
Is there a scene in Florida? Like in that the part that you were in?
There's a scene. I mean, I never went out. I mean, I never,
So it'd be probably nice to be in a band in Florida because there's always going to be somebody, hey, can I record you for free?
Well, nice to know in that area, yeah.
Exactly.
Every month, too, because it's a monthly, school. We switch classes every month.
Right.
So, in my case, we did 2 classes a month. So
we will be right back after a quick word from our sponsors. It's getting close to that season to show off your new tats. Looking for a clean shop that only offers the best of high-end ink? Don't waste any more time. Head to FN Classy Tattoos. Hunter S. Thompson once said, if anything is worth doing, it's worth doing right. This quote is fully applicable to the ink that will stick to your biological canvas until the day you die. Located at 2804 Lake Road, Suite 5. The the amazing Ronnie Veritas will be joining the crew on July 1st. I've seen his work, and it's phenomenal. You can, of course, check his work out at the Effin' Classy Facebook page. Don't forget to sign up to their newsletter at effinclassy.com. FCT will fix your cheap tattoos. And if you didn't get FCT, well, then you probably got screwed.
That was pretty cool. You said you tracked everything?
Me and my group did, yes.
Okay.
Group 4.
Do you have any honorable mentions that you want to, like, people that you like in your group that you want to drop?
We tried to, keep the friends in the circle. Fernante Bates, Keith Schofield, Timothy Cooper, and then Alexis Roos didn't have a group, so she just joined us, and she's a nice, lovely little girl.
Uh-huh.
So we just had a group of all of us, and we just did our thing and got out of there.
Awesome. How long did it take you to record that?
We had, I think, 4 days and 4 hours each, which is our lab times.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much we were trying to figure out what days they're available and what days we had lab and times. Sometimes we had a lab from 9 p.m. to 1 in the morning, you know what I'm saying? And that's a 24-hour school. It could have been any time, to be honest. But luckily we had, the 5 to 9 p.m. times and the 9 to 1 a.m. times a couple of times. But we brought in the drummer. We recorded him on the first day. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. Then like the Wednesday, the Thursday, and the Friday, we got, the bass, the guitar, then the vocals. And then on the very last day, we did like, tambourines and percussion and stuff like that. But yeah, that's about it. Me and my boys just, did what we had to do, got in, got out.
Awesome. Sounds like a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, let me tell you. I mean, even that, not just that. I mean, like I said, we did interactive game audio.
That's
we
cool.
did movies, so we got to, we were in the dub stage, doing all this stuff. It was pretty cool. I mean,
we'll make sure to put links on that.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff we got.
Now, as far as like what you went to that school for and what you got out of it and the degree, and you mentioned, I mean, we saw a little before the show the movie commercial that you did, and we saw the music that you added to that. We saw a couple of commercials that you added music to.
Oh yeah.
What is it that you're aiming for now that you have this degree? Like, do you want to get in just doing music, or do you want to do more like movie soundtrack stuff? Or
and that's what they kind of strived at school too. Is pick that one thing that you really want to do and stick to that one thing. Man, I love sound. I like doing everything. I love music though. I really love music. I mean, that's what started this. I guess just I really want to call myself a recording engineer. I like to record a lot. I mean,
Right.
I'm all right at mixing. I like to mix, whatever. But I like to record. Capture everything perfect and right at its source for my whoever else it's getting shipped off to work on it. I really like recording voiceovers for movies or whatever, commercials. I really like just doing a little bit of everything, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to put a pinpoint something, but I have a very high passion for music and recording music.
So you would say you would stick just to music, like you wouldn't ever find yourself like in the middle of nature, like recording the animals.
Oh
like
yes, that's the thing. I can't put myself on one thing.
Yeah.
I can't right now. Like, I mean, I've gone out and field recorded myself and field recorded stuff. I love that, but if I were to pick one thing right now, I can't. Mm-hmm. It's recording, so it's recording. Right. I have a field recorder, the Zoom, so I go out and record stuff. But yeah, that would definitely be a thing for me.
Cool.
The H6, hell yeah, man!
Yeah.
It has the 4 external preamps plus the interchangeable capsules on top. I mean,
oh wow,
can't go wrong for $450 and go out and.
Hey man, that'd probably be great for like a podcast too.
Hey.
Well, it is. I mean, you could use it for a podcast. It has a little stand on it, and you have the cardioid polar pattern thing on top, the capsule. But dude, yeah, anything recording. But I'm a sound guy. I don't like when people say, "Oh, he's going to be a music production or music producer." I mean, yes, I'm. When you record music, you're producing it too in a way.
Right.
In a way, but I just want to be an engineer. A lover for sound. That's my passion.
I remember the very first time that we ever went to. At the time, it was called Goat Records.
Oh yeah.
To record our 4-song demo. Kevin Chaburka, aka Chewy.
Yeah.
He asked us, he's like,
Garrett,
"Do you want me to be an engineer or do you want me to produce the song?"
straight up.
Yeah.
He
And
wanted to make sure because people
yeah.
get pissed.
Yeah, and I think at the time, we weren't sure what it was because that was our very first time in the studio.
Right.
Yeah.
So we were just sort of like, just make it sound good. Like do whatever you can to make it sound good.
It was the same thing with Noxemery too, and
Yeah.
it was Haven at the time. It was
Right.
after Goat.
Right.
It was the same place, I think.
Yeah.
the exact
it was.
same house, just
Yeah.
different.
Became the band house at some point.
Yeah, and then the band house.
Yeah. But speaking of Chewy, you're going to be working with him soon.
Well, he did give me a call a few months back. He just said, "Hey, man, I see you're about to be graduating soon." And I was talking to Shane Doyle a few months before that. And he said he was moving up there, and I was saying, "Hey, I might ask Kevin if he has anything he might be able to offer me or give me a job or something." Kevin said, "Well, good thinking because I'm offering." And I was like, "Well, wow," it was a shock in a way.
Right.
And I'm like, thank you. Like, it was a step, like at least my foot in the door in somewhere, you know what I'm saying? So he said he'd give me a place to stay and a place to work for, a few months, so.
That's so awesome, man.
I'm really fortunate and thankful for that. And, it's because of Kevin, so.
Yeah.
And I've known him for a while. Like I said, he
Yeah.
recorded the first Noxemery album at Haven, which that's what it is over there now still. It's still Haven.
Right. Is Garrett Lofgren still over there with him?
Yeah.
I'm
Still
pretty
there.
sure, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually in a band together. Really great band. I enjoy them a lot. Hollywood Blues Destroyers.
Yeah, I've heard a
With
little bit of
Skip
their
Heller.
stuff.
I haven't heard that. I definitely
Dude,
should.
it's great, man. Great music. Just
Yeah.
classic. It sounds like old 50s country to me, but it has that vibe to it. But
It almost has a Ben Bell vibe to it. You remember
Yeah,
Ben
it's-
Bell? Did you ever listen to Ben Bell?
no, I don't.
Oh, he was he was kind of like I guess the genre of it's like Americana, like very like it's got like
Was he around that time period?
Earlier.
Or earlier than 50s?
Oh, no.
no, he was like modern day, like he was with us, like I knew the guy.
Oh, no.
But, like,
Would you say rockabilly, maybe?
No, it's not rockabilly.
Okay,
No.
okay.
It's like, I don't know. It gives me that like Roger Miller, Roger Miller, or man, I have all the names on here. Just that old country vibe. I can play some later if y'all want. I own the CD, but
Okay.
fools like me often wish upon the stars. Great music, makes me feel good.
That's good. That's
Hollywood Blues Destroyers. Yeah.
Awesome. So when is it that you got the job?
Yes, he offered me. He said, just go out there for a week, check it out, and see how I like it, and confirm everything. And I'm actually trying to get my ticket sometime in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I'm planning on going up there at the first week of June. I was actually going at the end of May, but I'm actually doing a DJing job for a wedding.
Really?
Yeah. So my uncle's getting married. He's like, I need a DJ. I'm like, I got you. I got turntables and stuff. So
You got turntables?
yeah, I do, and I got the whole little entertainment system, so I'm gonna be out there making a few $100,
yeah.
and I'm gonna use that to take to LA with me. But it'll be at the first week of June. I'm gonna go up there for a week and just see how I like it and confirm everything with him. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna stay there and move up there. I'm pretty confident in that. So
All things aside, like
Yeah.
you straight up said that when you went to Full Sail, you bullshitted, you were serious the whole time.
yeah.
But is there a part of you that sort of like it sinks in, is like, I'm gonna go to LA to pursue my dream that I've been working so hard on? Like, is there like the little kid in you that's just like so excited, like you're gonna be living your dream? Or
to be honest with you, no.
really?
Dude, honestly, I'm going to enjoy what I'm doing, no doubt.
Right,
You know,
absolutely.
I'm doing what I love, but hey, man, I'm there to make a living and a career of myself, and make a name for myself.
Right.
Yes, I'm happy inside, but I'm not. There's no little kid that's like, yay. I'm just like, let's see how this works out. If not, I got other places to go and be
Right.
with
That's
people
good.
that I can go and record with.
I respect that out of you, Louie.
Thank you.
No bullshit.
Thank you.
I respect that out
A
of you.
little kid will never
Thank you.
die.
Well, I mean, there's a little kid in me, but no, man, I'm there. I'm there for a reason. I'm there to do what I'm there to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely gonna, work with Kevin and his studio, but I'm definitely gonna be going and looking for other places to get my name out there, or
Right.
who
Other ways
knows? Movies. There's,
Yeah.
movies. That's Hollywood there, L.A. I mean, there's music, all kinds of other studios and things. so-
Opportunities at every corner.
Exactly, and at least with a paper on my back, I have a little, step up than everybody else in a way. I mean, at least with this little paper.
To some degree, yeah.
At some degree, I mean, but I'm very thankful and fortunate to have that on my side. Really.
Awesome, man. Well, dude, I am very glad that you showed up, man.
Thank you, man.
Not only was it great just to see you again, but it's just great to see like how far you've gone in life.
Oh, dude,
man.
we're gonna be chilling. We're gonna be chilling a lot more.
Definitely, man. I can't wait for that, man. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you. Good night, goodbye, and good luck.
Have a good one. Thank you, everybody.
Smoking and driving, don't look at the cup, nigga diving. No drink, and driving. We drink, then we ride. I step out my wheel with my own cup when I slide. Then so broken, better not trill, cause I'm drunk, high